clear.
Hi, I'm Jason McCartney.
And I'm Chris Appleton, and I'm a goal umpire in the Australian Football League.
Today Chris and I are going to tell you what it takes to become a Level 2 goal umpire, which is an important step towards fulfilling your dream of officiating in an AFL match, just like Chris.
This DVD will take you through all the information and knowledge you require to obtain your Level 2 accreditation. Let's begin with the qualities of an umpire.
Qualities like integrity, honesty, trustworthiness, respect, responsibility and sharing with others provide a strong reference point for the umpire in terms of what they do, say and are. One of the most important roles of the umpire is to relate to others prior to, during and often following the match.
People associated with football have certain expectations of umpires. They expect them to be responsible, prepared for their role and competent. Whilst the field umpires play the leading role, umpiring is a team game and field umpires rely heavily on their support crew, the boundary and goal umpires. Teamwork is an essential factor in good umpiring performance. The role of the goal umpire can be described as follows. Interpret and apply the laws relating to goal umpiring with common sense and in accordance with the spirit of the game. Be the final judge of the scores. Attend to the administrative requirements necessary for the successful staging of the game. And ensure a safe environment for the participants by undertaking a pre-match inspection of the scoring area and surrounds.
Whether at training sessions, coaching sessions or on match day, a positive, enthusiastic and responsible attitude towards umpiring senior football can be demonstrated in the following ways: accepting responsibilities, actively encouraging others, receiving and discussing feedback, ensuring all work is completed to schedule and meets the required standard.
All goal umpires have a responsibility to present themselves in a professional manner on match day. The goal umpire is expected to have a clean and neat uniform and a range of equipment for the role, including flags to be full white sailcloths approximately 40 cm by 55 cm, stick size 75 cm, single or screw type, ballpoint pen, 2 pencils, one with an eraser attached, shirt, cap, black trousers, black socks, black boots with studs, official scorecards or ruled sheet, and a watch.
Effective interpersonal skills are attributes which are common to successful umpires. For example, acknowledging others, respecting others' opinions, and projecting positive body language. There will be many opportunities on match day for umpires to demonstrate their interpersonal skills. A philosophy for umpiring Australian football should include having a consistent approach in the use of discretion and judgment in ensuring the game is played in accordance with the spirit of the laws. The approach or philosophy should be firstly to ensure the correct positioning is achieved. Secondly, remain calm and composed in judging the score. Third, getting the score correct. And finally, signalling in a confident manner. A match plan can assist umpires in their approach to umpiring Australian football. The major reason for having a match plan is to provide the umpire with guidance in ensuring that they don't overlook vital aspects or components of the match. For example, taking control, player welfare or getting into position. A match plan should include the fundamentals of goal umpiring, which would apply to any match irrespective of the level of football. Once a match plan has been determined, it should become the basis of the approach for the goal umpire to every match throughout the season. Preparation for umpiring the match is an important responsibility of the umpire. It includes revising the laws of Australian football prior to matches and being up to date with current interpretations, and being in good mental and physical condition to umpire the match to prevent the build-up of fatigue.
Modern football is based on moving the ball quickly, and the goal umpire must be physically conditioned in order to achieve the best position from which to adjudicate. As a person becomes physically fatigued, their concentration level drops, as does their capacity to perceive events. The higher the level of fatigue, the greater the drop in concentration. Umpires need to be physically fit to enable them to respond quickly to changes of play in the scoring area throughout the match, move sharply in the scoring area, and maintain optimum concentration levels. The more highly developed the areas of fitness are, the better prepared the goal umpire is to meet the physical demands of the game and to resist fatigue.
A nutritionally sound diet is essential in achieving maximum performance on the sporting field and for immediate and future health. Umpires shouldn't wait until they're thirsty to take in fluids. Thirst is a poor indicator of fluid needs, and they must get into the habit of regularly consuming water before, during and after training and matches. The best fluid to take during training sessions is cool water. Alcohol consumption and tobacco smoking can adversely impact on the umpire's performance and contribute to poor physical fitness and poor health. Umpires need to be proactive to minimise the risk of sun-related damage to their skin. That can be achieved by protecting themselves from the sun with appropriate clothing, including a hat and the application of sunscreen at training and during matches.
Improving umpiring performances is a goal of most umpires, regardless of what level they officiate. A strategy that the umpire can employ is to undertake a process of self-reflection. In this process, the umpire reviews an action and considers what went well and what didn't, identifies an aspect of the umpiring which needs to be changed, develops a strategy for change, implements the strategies at the next match, and reviews those actions and repeats the process.
An important role umpires can play, and one that can assist their own development, is to assist the development of less experienced umpires. That can occur in a number of ways, including mentoring, observing and providing feedback to umpires, and conducting coaching or training sessions for umpires. Mentoring is where one person helps another to grow and develop skills and attitudes. A mentoring umpire can help someone to see their strengths and weaknesses, clarify what goals and needs they have, identify further options and directions, determine the action necessary to achieve their goals, assist in overcoming barriers to progress, and assist them to acquire the skills and knowledge they need to move forward. The mentor should encourage, offer advice, question and challenge the umpire, but generally not tell the umpire everything because they need to learn. Most often that is more effective when learnt through experiencing and reflecting.
Another important way umpires can assist the development of other umpires is to observe their performance and provide them with feedback. When observing, key points to consider are: concentrate on the key aspects of the performance, be accurate with the details about the major aspects of the performance which will be reinforced with the umpire, and be objective. Following the observation, the observing umpire should refer to the recorded notes to draw out the major points that will be discussed with the umpire. Umpires should be given feedback on their performance which enables the umpire to identify strengths and areas for improvement. Feedback should be discussed with, not told to the umpires. Umpires should be engaged in this process and encouraged to explore strategies for addressing the areas for improvement.
Prior to conducting a coaching or training session, it is important that the umpire is aware of the coaching needs of the group they'll be working with. Once the coaching needs have been identified, then the coaching session outline can be considered and developed. An important ingredient in presenting a coaching session, as in umpiring a match, is preparation, ensuring that you have planned the session and have the appropriate equipment to conduct the session.
As a goal umpire in the game of Australian football, you can take steps to ensure you do your part in seeing that safe facilities and equipment are provided in the areas that fall under your jurisdiction in the match you're umpiring. Walk 5 metres out past the behind post in both directions, checking the ground surface. If when running hard for a wide ball, you know you're going onto soft ground, you are better prepared. Clear the area of any loose debris which may cause injury to you or players or other umpires. Check that all scoring lines are clear. If there is no line, then try to make a line with your boot.
It is important that umpires develop strategies to assist them cope with the umpiring environment. Umpires can use the pre-match period to acknowledge and communicate with other participants, taking the opportunity to establish and build a relationship, particularly with players. The way in which the umpire goes about umpiring will have an impact on players, coaches, administrators and supporters. A firm and friendly approach with confident decision making and clear communication will win the respect of players and others. After the match, it is good practice to join the players and officials in a social setting, especially if invited. It provides an opportunity to get to know players and club officials and to strengthen the relationship with them.
All umpires have a responsibility to the players to ensure that no harm comes to them because of a degree of carelessness on the umpire's part. The following duties have been identified as those which umpires owe to the players under their control: duty to enforce laws, duty to protect participants, duty to warn, duty to anticipate reasonably foreseeable dangers, duty to control and supervise the match, and monitor racial vilification.
Effective communication is a key ingredient for effective umpiring, and the ability to handle players in situation is important to the conduct of the match. In controlling the match, the goal umpire is called upon to make certain decisions. It is important, therefore, that goal umpires be firm and assertive in their approach, and the following strategies and techniques should be followed. Keep calm, treat players with respect, use positive and appropriate body language, listen attentively, communicate decisions, don't embarrass players, and avoid sarcasm.
The umpire's duties are not completed once the final siren has sounded. A number of tasks need to be undertaken. These tasks may include post-match checking of scores, completing and checking the report of player form within any specified time period, and meeting controlling body requirements relating to wording and content of reports. It is crucial that goal umpires have a comprehensive knowledge and understanding of the laws which are relevant to their duties and responsibilities. The fact that the ball, whilst in transit, strikes an umpire, trainer, runner, or any other person except a player who is inside the playing arena does not annul the scoring of a goal or behind or the awarding of a mark. A goal umpire may alter their score by notifying the field umpire prior to any of the following: the field umpire bouncing the ball in the centre of the ground after a goal has been indicated, a defender kicking off after a behind has been indicated, and before a breach of the laws has been penalised. If a score has been signalled and the goal umpire realises a mistake has occurred, they would, after notifying the field umpire, signal the annulment of the score by standing in the centre of the goal line and holding both flags above their head in a cross position until the other goal umpire carries out the same action. Then, if necessary, the correct score should be signalled and recorded. The scoreboard must be then altered accordingly.
The goal umpire may consult with the field umpire if they are unable to decide the team or the player who kicked the ball over the goal line. Specifically, if the goal umpire wishes to seek an all clear from the field umpire in the event the field umpire not being aware that the ball has passed over the goal or behind line, they must immediately run to the field umpire and inform them of the score. If the goal umpire is unsure as to whether the ball has crossed over the goal or behind lines or is out of bounds, they shall seek the assistance of the field and boundary umpires. If the correct decision cannot be determined following consultation, the goal umpire should give the lesser score. If a goal umpire is unable due to injury to wave the flag or flags to signal a score, they may instruct an emergency or substitute goal umpire to signal and record a score.
In the event of a field umpire awarding a free kick or mark immediately prior to the siren, necessitating a shot at goal being taken after the siren, it is possible that spectators may invade the arena. The umpires will endeavour to clear the arena and observe the following in conjunction with the goal umpire. If a spectator marks or stops the ball, the game ends. If a spectator assists the ball over the scoring line, the score is not recorded and the game ends. If the ball is deflected over the scoreline after contacting a spectator, the score is not recorded and the game ends. And if a spectator interferes with a defender, irrespective of whether they may have been able to touch the ball or not, and the ball crosses the scoreline, the field umpire will signal all clear and the score will stand. Where things are normal and a player has a legitimate shot at goal after the siren and the ball hits the player's hand and they attempt to stop it, a behind results. If the ball is intentionally punched through by a teammate, the result is no score, however this is to be determined by the field umpire.
In the event of the field umpire calling the players into line to count them at the request of either captain, the goal umpire shall make a note of the score at that time. Prior to the commencement of the match, timekeepers shall call on the goal umpires and synchronise watches. All umpires are to enter the arena at least 5 minutes prior to the official starting time of the match. Goal umpires are required to advise umpires as to the time. Goal umpires are to note the time at the completion of the second quarter and are required to advise umpires as to the time they are required to enter the arena for the commencement of the third quarter. One of the responsibilities of the goal umpire is to report reportable offences. Goal umpires must be aware of reportable offences as prescribed in the laws of Australian Football, Law 19.2.2. They must also be aware of controlling body requirements. Goal umpires shall not leave the goal area to report players where there is the possibility of a score being made. Such reports shall be made at the next interval and prior to the start of the next quarter. When doing so, the goal umpire must be accompanied by a field umpire to advise of the report.
There are many factors that influence control, the most critical for goal umpires being the manner in which they go about their tasks. Goal umpires need to demonstrate that they are in control, and there are 3 ways in which they can do this. Firstly, goal umpires have to have the courage of their convictions to make the right decisions, irrespective of the circumstances, whenever the need to make a decision arises. Secondly, goal umpires need to demonstrate confidence in their decisions, and this can be demonstrated by strong signals being performed in the correct manner on every occasion. Thirdly, effective control is demonstrated by handling players and situations in an appropriate manner. Goal umpires need to stay cool, irrespective of how animated or heated players' behaviour may be. Whilst the ball must be kept under observation at all times, it is important for goal umpires to be alert for potentially volatile situations. However, remember that where play continues, you must never leave your goal area if there's a possibility of a score occurring. Being alert includes being aware of what is going on around you in the immediate goal area. If you observe a player shaking a goal or behind post to put a player off who is shooting for goal, then it is reportable.
To ensure the correct scoring decision is made, it is imperative that the goal umpire achieves correct positioning at all times when the ball is within scoring distance of the goal. The goal umpire should initially position themselves so that the ball, the centre of the goal line and the goal umpire form a straight line. There are 3 types of positioning to be fully familiar with, and they are on-line positioning, under or behind the flight positioning, and distance from post positioning. Before we go through them, 2 other factors which the goal umpire should consider before the game are checking which direction they will have trouble with the sun and checking wind direction.
The goal umpire should make position straddling the line whenever there is to be a contest for the ball on the goal or behind line. To avoid committing to the on-line positioning far too early and often totally unnecessarily, the goal umpire should take note of the following pointers. The goal umpire must endeavour to be settled if possible in the straddle position prior to the ball reaching the on-line contest. For timing of movement to the line, the goal umpire should hold their position behind the flight of the ball until it is obvious that an on-line position is warranted, and then get to the line quickly in time to make a correct judgment. On-line for a contestable low ball near the goal post is one of the goal umpire's most difficult situations. When the ball is low enough for players to contest and the ball is going to be close to the goal post, the goal umpire has to be on line to look for a mark, ball touched, ball hitting the goal post, or even slipping past on the other side of the post. If there are no players in the vicinity and no chance that the ball will be touched, then the goal umpire must remain behind the flight of the ball. When making adjudications from the goal area, goal umpires should be positioned on the goal line some 2 to 4 metres from the goal post, and they should be looking along the back of the goal post, not in front of the goal post. The following is a guide to required positioning in the behind area. When a defender contests the ball on or near the behind line, if there is sufficient room for the goal umpire to position themselves straddling the behind line, they should do so. If there's not sufficient room, they should adjudicate from the goal area as referred to previously. When an attacking player contests the ball on or near the behind line, the goal umpire should position themselves on the goal line 2 to 4 metres from the goal posts, looking along the back of the goal post to adjudicate. The goal umpire should also be prepared for the next act of play, which is a possible shot at goal. When a defender and an attacking player are contesting the ball on or near the behind line, the goal umpire should position themselves on the goal line 2 to 4 metres from the goal post, looking along the back of the goal post to adjudicate, and once again, being prepared for the next act of play, which is possibly a score. When a pack of players are contesting the ball near the behind post, the goal umpire should position themselves on the goal line 2 to 4 metres back from the goal post, looking along the back of the goal post to adjudicate. However, in this situation, if the goal umpire is more comfortable making their adjudication from a straddle position on the behind line away from the contest, they can choose to do so. The onus in this situation is with the goal umpire. They must be away from the contest and avoid any contact with the players. And they must be prepared to read the play and react accordingly if it is possible for a shot to be made at the goal area. This distance back from the goal post is an important position for a shot which is kicked at goal and is above touching height but below post height, and where it may just touch or graze the goal post. In these situations, the goal umpire must position themselves 2 to 3 metres back from the goal post so that they have a better view of the ball. The distance to stand from the goal post for a shot at goal where the ball is well above post height is about 1 metre back from the goal post. All scoring signals will be given facing directly up the ground.
There are a number of signals that the goal umpire could give during the course of a match. This signal of raising both index fingers is given after receiving an all clear signal from the field umpire. The hand shall not be raised above the head during the signal procedure and must finish level with the hips and parallel with the ground, body width apart. The signal is to be given from the centre of the goal line, facing straight up the ground, and should be held for 2 seconds. This signal of raising one index finger is given after receiving an all clear signal from the field umpire. The hand shall not be raised above the head during the signal procedure and must finish level with the hip and parallel with the ground. The signal can be given from anywhere along the scoreline and should be held for 2 seconds.
From the starting position, 11 and 1 on the clock face, flags will be brought across once, back once and down to the sides, ensuring the flags don't cross in front of the face. The first movement for waving a behind is to raise the flag above the head at a 45-degree angle. As this is done, the goal umpire should hold the bottom free corner of the flag with the other hand. The flag movement should be executed above the head without embellishment. From the starting position, the flag will be brought across once, back once and down to the side, ensuring the arm does not cross in front of the face. While not obscuring the line of vision, the arms are to be raised above the head and the back of one hand is to be clearly hit 3 times with the other hand, although not in an over-exaggerated movement. The signal is to be given immediately without waiting for the field umpire's all clear call. When the all clear call has been given, the goal umpire should signal for a behind. The goal umpire should tap their chest immediately whilst moving to the score line. They should then receive the all clear from the field umpire, signal a behind, hit the nearest goal post above head height with one hand 3 times and then wave the score. Depending on which behind post the ball hits, the goal umpire should raise their outside arm vertically to signal to the boundary umpire that the ball is out of bounds. They should remain with their arm raised until the boundary umpire signals the ball out of bounds. Once acknowledged, they should hit the side of the behind post 3 times above head height, then return to their position relative to the throw-in. Depending on which behind post the ball hits, the goal umpire should raise their outside arm vertically to signal to the boundary umpire that the ball is out of bounds. Once acknowledged, they should tap the back of their raised hand 3 times, then hit the side of the behind post 3 times above head height. They should then return to their position relative to the throw-in. Depending on which behind post the ball hits, the goal umpire should face the boundary umpire raising their outside arm horizontally with fists clenched. They should remain in that position until the boundary umpire signals the ball out of bounds on the full. Once acknowledged, they should hit the side of the behind post 3 times above head height. If they are unsure of which team has kicked the ball, stand at ease beside the behind post with hands behind their back. They are then to return to their position for the next act of play. This signal is only to assist the boundary umpire when they are caught some distance behind play and the ball is close to the scoring area. The outside arm is raised vertically to signal out of bounds. Should the boundary umpire not see or ignore the signal, the goal umpire must then cease the signal and continue to make position in case the ball passes through for a score. This signal is only to assist the boundary umpire when they are caught some distance behind play and the ball is close to the scoring area. The outside arm is raised horizontally with the fist clenched. If the boundary umpire does not respond to the signal, the goal umpire must recover to make position so they can give a score if necessary.
This signal is to be given for all behinds except for a ball touched over the goal line. It indicates to the boundary umpire that the goal umpire will signal a behind if given the all clear. It should be made facing up the ground so both boundary umpires can see it, as it indicates to them to stop running. This signal is indicated with the arm held diagonally across the body, hand positioned towards the point of the shoulder and tapped 3 times with a sharp action, pulling the arm back approximately 30 centimetres. The goal umpire should take 2 or 3 quick steps towards the field umpire, tapping their chest repeatedly and yelling out, "Mine." If the field umpire fails to notice, the goal umpire must chase them and tell them there has been a score. For the ball crossing the scoring line or hitting the goal post, the goal umpire must chase the field umpire until caught, regardless of the ball being out of bounds, a free kick, a 50-metre penalty being awarded, or the ball crossing the scoring line at the other end. The original score must stand and be awarded. The field umpire is then to control centre bounce, kick off or award a free kick, whichever is relevant. For a ball hitting the behind post, after initially signalling to the boundary umpire, the goal umpire must chase the field umpire until caught, unless a free kick or a 50-metre penalty has been awarded in the meantime. Once the ball has completely crossed the goal line, the goal umpire should raise one leg and hit the top of the raised thigh 3 times to signal that the ball was not kicked, then signal a behind after receiving the all clear. At the end of each quarter, the goal umpire will signal to the scoreboard attendant the correctness of the scores. This all clear is done by waving 2 flags in the same action of waving a goal. It is the responsibility of the goal umpire facing the main scoreboard to do this. In the event of the scores being incorrect, the goal umpire will attract the attention of the attendant by moving towards the scoreboard. If unable to attract their attention, the goal umpire is not to wave the all clear.
It is most important that all goal umpires correctly record the scores. If the goal umpire's cards are not identical, the following will assist in deciding who has the correct scorecard. If one scorecard is the same as the scoreboard, it is more likely that it is correct. The goal umpire with the highest score is more likely to be correct, as it is easier to overlook recording a score than to enter a score twice. And it is more likely that the goal umpire at the scoring end is incorrect, as their partner is under less pressure and able to immediately record the score in all instances. Be prepared to register 2 scores. If a forward is infringed after the ball crosses the goal or behind line or hits the goal post, the field umpire can award another kick, and if a score results, another score will be registered. Law 13.3 states, a player of the defending team may kick the football into play when the goal umpire has signalled that a behind has been scored. Full concentration by the goal umpire must be on the defender kicking the ball into play and subsequent acts of play. If it has not been possible for the goal umpire to wave the initial behind, they must go quickly to the field umpire, who would probably be unaware that the flag had not been waved, as their full concentration would be on the play, to inform them of this. The field umpire may then stop play for the goal umpire to wave the previous behind, then receive the all clear to signal the second score. Play can then commence in the normal manner.
All umpires are to enter the arena at least 5 minutes prior to the official starting time of the match, with goal umpires required to advise umpires as to the time. Goal umpires are to note the time of completion of the second quarter and are required to advise umpires as to the time they are required to enter the arena for the commencement of the third quarter. Goal umpires need knowledge of the roles of the field and boundary umpires and ways in which they can assist their colleagues.
The boundary umpire is the final judge of when the ball is out of bounds, except when the field umpire awards a mark before the ball passes completely outside the boundary line or awards a free kick. A goal umpire overrules the boundary umpire in relation to a score, or the ball hits or goes directly over the behind post. In this case, the goal umpire assists the boundary umpire with the out of bounds decision. The goal umpire may overrule the boundary umpire if they consider that the ball has passed across the goal or behind line and the boundary umpire signals the ball out of bounds, or the goal umpire considers that the ball has not passed across the goal or behind line and the boundary umpire is of the opinion that it has. If the ball goes outside the boundary line near the behind post and the boundary umpire appears to be out of position, the goal umpire is required to assist the boundary umpire. When the ball is kicked out of bounds on the full, the goal umpire assists the boundary umpire by signalling the ball out on the full in the normal manner. Cooperating with field umpires. Where a mark is taken on or just before the goal line by a player of the defending team, the goal umpire shall immediately place their hands behind their back and quickly back away, keeping their eyes on the ball at all times. Where a mark is taken on or just before the goal line by a player of the attacking team, the goal umpire shall wait until the player has moved off the line of kick before repositioning. Where a mark is taken just behind the goal line, the goal umpire shall step up to the line and look to the field umpire for an all clear signal. If an all clear is not immediately given, the goal umpire is to run out to the field umpire and seek an all clear, provided a free kick has not been awarded to the defender prior to or at the same time as the score.
Teamwork is important on match day to assist each of the umpires to carry out their roles in the most effective manner. It is advisable when a score is imminent at the opposite end to concentrate on the other goal umpire and their signals, not the ball. The goal umpire should not leave the goal area after the siren sounds to end each quarter until the field umpire signals to the timekeepers by raising their arms in the air, and it is obvious that no further active play is to take place.
The goal umpire has an important role on match day working with the officials off the field to ensure the smooth conduct of the match. The goal umpire has an important role at the tribunal following a report. It includes coping with the tribunal environment and working with a range of people to ensure the smooth conduct of the tribunal. Attendance and performance at the tribunal are important elements in the total reporting procedure. Before attending the tribunal, a goal umpire should make sure they know the guidelines and instructions and be prepared to state what the guidelines say if it is necessary to defend their action. During the tribunal hearing, the goal umpire should use positive body language, keep their statements and answers brief and precise so as to minimise opportunities for officials to react. Be prepared to correct distortion. For example, "No, I didn't say that, I said this." Remain calm, composed and stick to their evidence, remembering that the umpire's role is that of a witness only. Use terminology consistent with the charge. Answer questions honestly without concerning themselves with the scenario that the advocate is attempting to portray. And retain a sense of humour.
So there you have it, everything you need to become a level 2 goal umpire.
Good luck with obtaining your accreditation, and hopefully I'll see you out in the thick of the action with me, being part of a game in the AFL.
We'll catch you soon, bye for now.